Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Sisterhood Book Club with Sister Girl. Now, today I will be reviewing this book here by Cheryl Robinson, When I Get Where I'm Going. And this book cover, I like this book cover. It's very enticing and it makes you wonder what it's really about. And this is the back here. Okay, I have been wanting to read this book ever since it came out, which was the beginning of last year. And I finally got a chance to read it. And this is not her first book. This is like her third, I think her third book. And she's a really good author, I must say, for my first time reading her work. So, so far so good. Okay, I give this book a 3.5 star because I like the book and the book itself. This time I'm not going to put up usually I put like the book trailer up. She does have a book trailer, but it's saying mainly everything that I'm going to say about the book, so I don't want to give you a double dose of what is going on. So the first thing I would like to say is that I do highly recommend this book. It's rated PG. I don't see why anyone underage adult. This is an adult fiction, but it's not rated R at all. It's most to me is a life lesson learned book about three sisters that world winds up colliding together. Is two, which is Heaven and Hope. Heaven and Hope grew up in the same household together. Now, Allison, she didn't grow up in the same household, but all three of them have the same father. Now, Allison, she she leaves home 13 years ago and headed for Hollywood. And this book do take place in Detroit. So all of them were from Detroit. And they world really collide together because of their father, the estranged father that actually brings them together to let them know that he really let Hope and Heaven know that they have another sister. And it's very, very interesting. And I like the way the author actually goes back and forth between, stories bring you the future, then like a little bit goes in the past to let you know exactly, how they was living when they were little and what caused the mother death and all that stuff. So it's a very good, interesting read. Now I'm going to get on with the story. Now, Allison, she, like I said, she left home 13 years ago to fulfill her Hollywood dream of being a star. And she comes off as a very sweet person that have standards, high standards. In Hollywood where you sleep to get to the the stardom of your career and things like that. She's not doing that. She has standards where guys do, approach her and want to sleep with her, and she can be this, big star if she does this. No, she's not doing that. She has very high hopes and very high standards for herself, that she doesn't believe that just because you sleep around doesn't it doesn't last for long. And so when she went to Hollywood, she took a best friend, and her best friend is going around sleeping with these different men and stuff for her to get this, the head stardom and things like that. But sooner or later, it do winds up kicking her supposed to be best friend in the behind. So the best friend that she took to Hollywood turns out to backstab her, and she have a very hard time dealing with her best friend deception. that comes really close to home, and she just can't believe that her best friend that she'd been knowing since, they was running around together in ponytails and things like that, that would do that to her. So she deals with that, and then she comes across, all these different, um, I should say, acting parts where she's supposed to get the part, but somebody is actually like in the background. Um, she's wanted there, but then, like I said, her best friend is backstabbing her. So when she's, brought up for a position, someone is there to snatch it away. So she really have a hard time, and then dealing with that, and then on top of that, she winds up having medical issues, which is hits her hard, and she had to leave Hollywood in order to continue to live. So she had to go back to Detroit and have this operation that turns out to be all right. So she, like I say, she comes off as this. She's a kind-hearted young lady that will and in the that is willing to give up and sacrifice everything, all her star qualifications, all that, to show, Hollywood that she's not that typical young lady that is really hard up for a part. And it really do pays off at the end. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, then you have heaven. Heaven, you know how they say the parent, the fruit do not fall too far from the tree when it comes to the parents. Well, it turns out to be true for heaven, because heaven have the traces of criminal background activities like her parents do, and it's very hard for her to conquer and accept that her mother was killed by her father, and she has a very hard time coming to terms with herself on the criminal side, her criminal side that brings her forth everything that might destroy herself and destroy the life that she built for herself. And she's having a hard time with this situation at hand. And when the dirt is thrown at her, she knows how to handle it real good. But the point I'm trying to make is that heaven is so wrapped up into what she have created, the world she have created. It takes her to the point where there's no turning back, and that she has really hurt the one that she loves the most, which is her sister Hope. She has did some criminal stuff to her that her sister can't even, gasp what she did to her. And now she's like regretting what she did to her sister, and she's bending backwards for her to forgive her. And she's really missing her. At first she was saying, oh, I don't care, what's done is done, I'm going to pay you back. But she, how, I didn't get the concept of how, if you're doing criminal stuff, how was you going to pay, your sister back after what you did to her? It wasn't no way that you was going to ever be able to pay her back. And I don't think she was comprehending what she was saying to her sister. So, heaven, she's out there. Out the three of them, she's the worstest one. Heaven is the worstest one. Now you have Hope. Hope is very, very, I'm not going to say she have a mean personality, and she have good reason why she have a mean personality towards certain people. Certain people she don't, but some people she does. And she have the right to, like her father, for instance, her father's in prison for killing um, her mother and heaven mother, and she's mean on that side. Then she's dealing with that situation there. She haven't got over that. She works in a bank where she deals with people, and she can deal with her daily routines, but just by her, after she get off of work and stuff, things that she can't deal with reality, because reality have kicked her in the butt so very much, and to the point where she just have, like, toss everything to the side and just said forget it. God had dealt me this hand, and I can't deal with it no more. So I'm just gonna, treat everybody like they treat me. So the first, deal she got was, the bad hand she got was with her sister Heaven. Heaven did some criminal stuff with her personal stuff, and she can't forgive her sister for what she did. And then she have, a daughter to look after, so she have to keep a job at the bank. And then she have this husband that one day he was in her life, then the next day he was gone. They go on, he, comes up missing. So now she has to deal with that. It's someone else that she, I'm trying to find the right words, everyone. I know I'm probably going around the block and back, but she had to deal with this husband that one minute was in her life, then the next minute he was gone. And she finds that very unfair, but it turns out that he has not one face but two faces. She comes to reality. She never comes to reality that he is missing and that he's dead, because a body never surfaced. It was 3 guys on the boat and only one survived. So she finds something very, very fishy about this situation, and she do investigate, and she comes to terms to find out that her husband do have not one face but two faces. So she has to deal with that. So when reality do actually hit her, she's better off knowing the truth instead of not knowing the truth. And then she have this special bond with her daughter that really helps her, to come to terms with what's going on. And her daughter understands it better than she understands it. And they do say kids, the situations that we think that is undoable, kids finds it doable. So that's the way her and her daughter is with the situation at hand. And then you have so now she's dealing, and then she has to go back and she has to deal with Heaven. Heaven comes back into her life. She let Heaven back into her life once she found out that Alice was her half sister. And then Heaven turns around and slaps her in the face again. And it was just, it was a turn of events that I found out. It was so interesting and intriguing, and the characters was really realistic. You really and truly finds out. You can relate to these characters. These characters you can relate to, and the storyline you can relate to. And I like the way the author went from, Alice's story to Heaven's story to Hope's story. And it's just so much going on in this book that I could not even wrap it up in one setting. So I do highly recommend this book to anyone that wants a good read, that's looking for a good read. This is the book here. All right. So if you're viewing this, thank you for viewing this, and I really appreciate your time. And God bless, and take care, and see you next time. Bye-bye.